Hey everybody, welcome. Chat has spoken again. We're going to continue to try and push this rank a little higher, I guess, because we're in a premier draft of Corset 2021. We've been on a fairly nice hot streak here. We had a 2-1 traditional, I think, 2 days ago, but that's like the last time we haven't max won a starting draft in like a week. So it's been very fun to feel like our results are paying off. You know, that our understanding of the format is generating some good results, and I am feeling pretty good about the format. I still feel like chat as a whole has it better than me, and I'm really trying to listen to the collective wisdom of chat a lot. I override them sometimes. Sometimes I think I'm going to go with my gut and do it my way with my mouse and my account, but I do acknowledge that I get a lot of help in seeing into the format through chat's eyes. Collectively, I think we do help each other get better here because we're bringing lots of different perspectives on the format and finding a path that meets the format where it's at, and understanding how important it is to get on board quickly. But that if you get on board quickly, you can do a lot of things from there. You can be aggro, you can be control, you can be almost combo, but you gotta do whatever you do. Start doing it quickly, even if that means defending yourself quickly, right? And that's because of the fun police roaming the format in the form of hyper aggro, right? And if your fun police are making your Friday Night Magic at home not very fun because the person you play with is constantly crushing you with their aggro deck, well, there's lots of tools to control aggro. You just need to acquire them. And if you go to cardkingdom.com via my affiliate link, you can handle your own personal meta and take your friend or your partner or whoever you're playing Magic with at home right now and show them what metagaming is all about and bring in the tools that crush their best deck and make them adjust to you, right? That's kind of what we're doing these days without a lot of store play happening. Hopefully we'll get back there. You know, I think we can get there with proper social distancing and mask wearing and stuff. We just have to collectively get used to the idea of maintaining. Here's what I was telling my kids. It's like mask 6 feet away, outdoors. Got to have 2 at least. If you don't have 2 of those, what are you doing? And I'm especially like the one that still makes me the most nervous is indoors with mask. So like I tend like. So mask 6 feet away indoors is a big one for me, for him to be careful of. Anyway, I'm deviating into let's beat COVID together as I'm trying to pitch Card Kingdom. And you know, I know that Card Kingdom would like your help beating COVID because they want you back in their physical locations too, playing Magic in front of each other and buying cards for that purpose as well. So anyway, support Card Kingdom as you can, and continue to do your best to help our society reduce the spread of COVID-19. Yes, yes. Okay. Enough PSA. Let's jump in and see what we got here. Thank you, Mama. Keeping it surreal with the sub. Thank you. 18 months. Wow. That's like all of them, right? Close. Thank you, Surreal. That's funny. I used to work for Surreal Software. It does not surprise me to hear that a bunch of Magic players are poo-pooing masks, unfortunately. Seems like the kind of young person's thing to do about this situation. We've got a playable rare. Kind of cute in what it does, but I don't know if playable rare is better than just nice opening Dragonfire. Leafkin Avenger is very nice. I don't know if I want to start with it over Scorching Dragonfire, though. There's just a lot of places this we can end up in blue-red, end up a lot of places with Scorching Dragonfire that we can't end up with Leafkin. And it looks like request for. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm in the wrong. I'll get your meme in a moment here. I'm going to let this fire go, and I need to adjust. I actually have the wrong bank. I have my old my Ikoria scenes. There we go. Now I can offer you... All right, what do we got here? Finishing blow, but we've been... Black has been falling in people's estimation, and so has Finishing Blow as a 5-mana removal spell in a format where you often need to control 2-drops. So in a weak pack, I like a Rousing Reed or a Curion Dryad here. We did pass the red-green uncommon, which I have seen wheel. If people just don't get into red-green, that card can come around. Rousing Reed heads us towards a little bit towards red-blue, which is one of the better archetypes in the format. And I'm like, whatever on Dryad, so I'm going to take the Rousing Reed. This is fine if you get it on turn 2, but this is a really sad top deck. I like a top deck that has a little more impact than this. Even a 2-2 for 2 would be a more impactful top deck. We're going to take a Rousing Reed, see where it heads. I feel like I'm underdrafting blue-red anyway. Like, I feel like as the consensus, one of the best decks in the format, I sure don't end up in it a lot. Here we have a Obsessive Stitcher, which helped us 7-win yesterday. We had a double Stitcher deck. Really interesting splash debates and discussion yesterday. And the day before, really. It's been a splash-heavy kind of discussion here. But Ghostlight is single color and matches one of our colors so far. So I think we take a Ghostlight over Kerr and Singer. Kerr would be fine as one of the playable 2s in this pack. Or the only, well, Pegasus is playable, but playable 2s are good. And Singer is good, but we'll take the Ghostlight, which if we can get on board, Ghostlight when you have no board is just okay. Ghostlight when you have aggression, when you're successfully connecting for damage is like game winning. So we're going to take Ghostlight and try to get the stuff to make it more game winning than useless. Not useless. Here's another one though. For example, Bolt Hound and Kerr are the types of cards that I would want to play ahead of the Ghostlights to support that aggro. But again, I would take like 3 or 4 of these. Like if we got 4 Ghostlights, it's a plan, because then you are just piling on 2s of any kind and going with the aggro Ghostlight plan. And I have no problem taking a second one here, even though they're 5s. Like in this format, you don't want to be too heavy on 5s, but this is great. We actually get a shock here, late shock, great signal as well. Pack 1, pick 5. Not every format we call that a late shock, but I think in this format we could call that a late shock. Not very late, not super late, but shock is a sought after card in this format because of the number of 2 toughness low drops that you need to contain. I'm going to take it. Kind of just like the Cliffs here for the mana. The Pteranodon, though, is probably good enough to take, honestly. I love the double Ghostlight, but Herschel says easy land. But Herschel, check out the Pteranodon. If we... I'm thinking about that Avenger in our first pack, and I think this is a signal. And if the Avenger... It is Avenger, right? If the 4/3 red-green uncommon comes back in a handful of... picks, then I think we'll be happy to have this. I would love a Cliffs. You know I love mana, good mana, but I think this is a bit too much of a signal to me to not take it and see. Wizardry, though, pushes us back more towards blue-red, and Crash Through would be nice for that, but we'll take also what amounts to a late Wizardry, although I would say it's late Wizardry in terms of how good it is for the red-blue deck, but a lot of other archetypes can't really make great use of this. So this is an excellent card for the blue-red deck, especially because blue-red prioritizes it more highly than others. And also, Wizardry is a fine play ahead of Ghostlight. Ghostlight, of course, doesn't trigger Wizardry. The point is getting wide, getting on board ahead of bouncing stuff is nice. Here's pick 8. This is our last pick ahead of seeing whether we wield green. Kind of makes me want to hedge Dreadmaw, but Kerr is good too. And I think no matter what, we're going to be red. we're trying to figure out if maybe there's a reason to get into green from here. But red as a baseline seems pretty clear here. So I'm going to take the Cur. And this was a hedge. I don't think we're going to end up here, but if the Avenger is in the next pack, I will take it and continue to hedge and feel good about having taken this Pteranodon. And I still feel good about it even if it's not there. It's just like, it's almost great. Like, it's easier that it's not there. Although this training here is somewhat tempting. There's a training in a Mauler. Pitchburn Devils is just whatever, too. You see taking a green card here over the Devils, or are we just giving up on green here? Because, I mean, training on Pteranodon is a thing. I think for... I'm going to take the training. I don't think the red card there was so good that it was worth that. We can take Sure Strike here, and that's a fine playable. Thank you for that sub. I appreciate it very much. Okay, this lane seems great. We got another Cur. We could take the Highlands. Wow, this is tough. Highlands or Cur? What do you think? I'll leave it on Cur because of the importance of 2-drops, but that Highlands is... now I kind of wish... Yeah, like, I'd rather have 2 Curs and a tap land than 3 Curs at this point, but we'll take another Cur. Turret Ogre can be played. I was going to take the Bone Pit Brute, but I will acknowledge that Wall of Runes could be playable. But yeah, blue seems a bit dead, right? I'm not super happy. Well, red is open, though. Where our red lane is quite clear. So then it's just a matter of figuring out what the other part is. Here, Enthralling Hold suggests to me that it is blue. I mean, I like the Feline Sovereign. That's interesting. But 1 Cur is enough. I mean, I think that's looking at it through the wrong lens, D. Like, I mean, you're not wrong. Like... multiple Curs are rough because you can't... I mean, you can threaten multiple activations across them, and that can do something, but generally, you only want 1 on the battlefield. But I think the more important thing, D, is how many 2-drops do you have that you're willing to play, right? So just getting up your 2-drop count is important. Hopefully, we find some other things to do. What is this? I don't know this card. Volcanic Salvo, 10 red. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. Deals 6 damage to each of up to 2. Okay, so this seems worth it. Especially over what? You know, we're not even passing anything here except like a frantic inventory. It's our buddy. Hey, Gadrak. I like the Hunter's Edge. I like the Wizardry. I like the Singer. But especially with the Salvo, getting Gadrak down is very nice. Well, this is starting to make me think we should be green. I mean, these are powerful cards right here. But there's no blue in this pack. The blue's drying up again. Sanctum is interesting. I think we go Malkin and see if we wheel the Shrine. First, Gadrak does not need to attack to be playable. Second, I have attacked with Gadrak. It was really good when it happened. Augur, boy, we're being pulled all over the place here. Because I'm going to take Augur, and I guess we play it no matter what, but this is excellent in red-blue, and just okay in red-green, but okay enough. David doesn't like Augur. I think it's good enough, David. We're going to be playing a lot of instants and sorceries, even if we're red-green, and the rummaging is real. Rummaging is super real. You top deck this, and you've sandbagged a couple lands. You are so happy. Yeah, we can end up mono red with the way things are going. I've seen people play this on me a couple of times. I've lost to this. I don't think it's good, though. I think I'd rather have a dinosaur or even a tap land here. I don't generally worry about that. Dionysus wants to think in terms of adding artifacts to our deck for Gadrak. I'm like, if we get them at the right place, like I'm not taking a Prismite here over this just because of Gadrak. Although at some point we do need enough 2s where if like we're low on 2s, we would play that. I'm still trying to figure out even what we're doing. Like we can take Snare Spinner or Crash Through, but Crash Through gives us, it again is the thing that keeps us continuing to be open as we figure out whether there's blue or green going into this deck. Although this is more of a blue-red card. Yeah, I'm going to take the Crash Through on its strength of being a red card and being good in the deck we're building. Boy, another Wizardry or a Shock. We truly are in the right lane with red. Anybody want Wizardry number 2 over Shock number 2? I think this is a pretty close pick, but I'm still on Team Shock in this format. Yeah, okay, Haj. Haj is on 100% Shock. I was there. I just thought I'd ask. Let's see if anybody was on Wizardry. Here's another Sure Strike or a Pride Malkin or a Prismite if we want to play out. Make sure we got 2s, because if we don't play green, suddenly we're really low on 2s. I suppose Rewind I've always felt to be a little too clunky for this format, but I think I'm going to go Malkin and give us that chance. I don't know what we're doing here yet, but that's a chance, and this is it. We could take the Sniper. If we were best of 3, I would snag the Sniper, but I think for what we're doing, we just want a plain old Ogre here. Hey, Wizardry came back, so I'm going to take that. What a weird draft. We have been really pressed by our drafts the last couple of days to find our lane and to draft the hard way. Sure Strike or Devils? I guess we have Sure Strike already, a couple Shocks. And green does appear to be pretty open, so it's looking like green-red. Of course, the missing green-red uncommon suggests we're competing with green-red. We're competing with somebody for green-red. Liliana is a reasonable gem pick here. You just take Lily for the gems. If we're taking for playability, yeah, Fiddle points out that our blue 5s are very good, but there's not much else going on. Really just want another roaming Ghostlight? Are we blue? Are we still open? Still trying to be open? All right, I'll take the Ghostlight. Yeah. If you're gem poor, take Liliana. Don't pass mythics if you have the ability to convert them to gems and you're gem poor. But now we get another enthralling hold. All right, so now we're like, are we finally settled? So many 5s, 5/5s. We don't necessarily play the Devils here. We play 3 Ghostlights and 2 holds. We'll wheel the Wizardry. Let's get the Wizardry on the backside. Based on how this draft is going, I shouldn't say we will. That's awfully confident. I feel like we're highly likely to wheel the... the Wizardry. Denial looks fine here. Jeskai Elder is something we can do on 2. Sky Scanner or Larcenist are more turn 3 plays. We're pretty light on 3 as well. But Elder is nice for a spell-heavy... you like Larcenist over Elder? I feel like Elder in our deck is Larcenist a turn early. I mean, yes, it's looting, not drawing. That's not, I don't want to oversell that, but 2 drops are so important here. And being able to shock and crash through it and stuff is going to be real. Rookie mistake is definitely a cut. We'll see about Wall of Runes. Another lofty denial here. A Bolt Hound, which is no longer kind of what we're doing. I was saying, you know, getting on board is still good. Maybe we could do the Bolt Hound. Well, how about we cut them both, Haj, and then we'll see if we need them. Yeah, that's true. We got a couple of wizardries that are helped by the Bolt Hound. I'm in. I was just saying, you know, it's between these two. I do love filling up these 2s. We might wheel a Lofty Denial, but I'm in for Bolt Hound. Capture Sphere isn't an instant or sorcery. We can take Turn to Slag, which is... I think 1 Slag is okay, although we do have Volcanic Salvo. That's kind of like our Slag. So maybe we just want a Capture Sphere that can get anything. But this and this do similar things for similar mana. And Slag actually does work with things like Kinetic Augur in a way that Capture Sphere doesn't. Yeah, it is instant. That's fair. It does have Flash, but it never seems to matter to me that much that Capture Sphere has Flash. I went with the play towards the Augur, but maybe that was too narrow to make that choice. Another chance at doubling power that I don't particularly like. That's probably the best reason. I'm just heavy on 5s. Yeah, we might not even play the Slag, but honestly, I didn't like either of those that much. I don't know if maybe it was a this doesn't really matter type of pick, but here we'll take a Larcenist, sure. And now we get a late Slag. That would be the place to have gotten this. This one for sure we're not playing. To the point that I might even consider a Bone Pit or I don't think we're playing Miscast, though. That seems way too narrow for limited. But 2 Slag, not realistic. I'm going to take a Bone Pit. Yeah, I think I think if I had had a couple more seconds to process, I think I would have come to agree with you all that a 4-drop would have been better than a 5-drop there. Yeah. But here's a 4-drop we can consider. You like a Glide Master here. It is a 2. It's a 2 we can slide in. That's fair. Launch some Curs. Yeah, okay, we'll take Glide Master. We got an Ogre anyway. I love it. Another Ogre. Well... not loving that quite as much. I don't think we're playing 3 of those, but I think we could play 2. Another Pitchburn Devils, but we would rather have an Arsonist for potentially playing for early D over a... we're never playing a Pitchburn here with our stacked 5s. Hey, look. Actually starting to get some gem grind. Better make a note of that or I'll forget. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the draft. I wish I had taken that Capture Sphere. I think you all are right. I just didn't quite see it in time, specifically remembering my heaviness at 5. I think if I had seen the heaviness at 5, I would have seen the wisdom in taking that Capture Sphere. But I missed that. But I like how we handled everything else. We stayed open for a long time, trying to figure out if the table really wanted us to be green or blue along with the red, and it seemed like we could have been either and come up with a reasonable deck. But then we kept getting stupid stuff here. And what are we looking at? 18-13 currently. Yeah, see, I think I'm going to cut the Slag. And probably the Devils. Tome Anima can go. Maybe 1 Cur. I did 1 Fire Meme earlier. Do I need to do another one? That one was made by Fiddles, by the way. Thank you, Fiddles, for that excellent contribution to this stream. I really appreciate it. You know, I haven't made my own. I've done a lot of the soundboard stuff, like I've acquired sounds to use, but I really haven't made my own meme yet. I have given art direction and design direction to others. Oh, look, like, is it? Do we have default basics now? Look at these sweet new lands. Yeah, I like the ogre. I like this ogre in the deck, partly because of the triple Ghostlight. If we can clear the way for a 4/2, that's fine. What's up, Nantuko? I don't know if you've chatted before today, but this is the first I've seen you chat, so hello. Hannah likes the rebuild from zero rather than making cuts approach. Yeah, that's one way to go about it. We can do this, though. We can make some cuts. I'm going to cut one of those. We can probably give up a Sure Strike, although it's pretty good. I think a Sure Strike can go. I want to keep our non-creature up, though. So, like, this type of ratio seems good to me for this deck. I've been resisting cutting this ogre because I think it has real use in a deck with triple Ghostlight and Enthralling Hold. Like, we're going to be... Although you can't steal a blocker with Enthralling Hold, obviously. And Lofty Denial is a legit 2. And then with Trips Ghostlight, it's a legit, you know... And with Gadrak and Trips Ghostlight, it's a legit turn 7 play. So, I am not going to cut the Lofty Denial. I think it's too good at 2. I'd rather cut like an Arsonist is on my short list. The Ogre has been suggested, and I guess I can get rid of this Ogre. It is pretty plain. We have this one. And Glide Master, again, I'm not giving up any of our 2s. One of the truths of this format is to land early. I've cut a cur. I've cut one of our 3 curs, and that's about where I'm going to stop on that. Yeah, we could cut even an Enthralling Hold, but I think it's too good. They're 2-for-1s, and if your life total is high enough, they're just good enough. I mean, not just good enough like barely. They're good enough to run both. I like the card flow and support of prowess themes that Crash Through provides. So I'm not going to cut Crash Through. I'm going to cut Arsonist, I think. And then this looks good to me. 12 creatures, 11 non, with 2 of our non-creatures being wizardry that makes creatures. This is one of the reasons that I'm trying to cut creatures and not spells. Like, these are why I want Crash Through, right? Wizardry into Crash Through is real deal, backed up by a shock. You know, shock their 1 blocker, Crash Through. Your wizardries are 3/3 tramples. You know, that's kind of what we're doing. Right on, Fiddles. Thanks for hanging while you could, and thanks again for the sweet meme. Hopefully we'll be playing it a bunch today. King Squid says, any recommendations for a quick draft versus human draft? I'm curious how to adjust to drafting with bots and whether you still have to read signals from the right and such. The bots are excellent signal senders. I would say what I've always said about the bots is that they send better signals than humans because they're very rigid about falling into a color pair and generally sticking with it. So if you're listening to the bots, you can really find your lane with them. And often they then repeat that. So once you've found your lane a couple times with the bots, you start to understand what the bots are doing. But then it gets kind of stale if you end up always in the same deck because the bots always value things the same way. So keep that in mind. Fiddles would like a farewell of his other meme. Fiddles made this meme as well. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads. I haven't made any of my memes, but I feel like I've helped people make my memes better. It's a collaborative effort. People send me memes and we workshop them and turn them into sweetness for you all. Okay, We drafted the hard way again. We are roaming. We got triple roam. Ghost light. Hard. Shocking. No. Hard journey. That's fair. Yeah, we were always red, and we've spent much of the draft trying to figure out if we were adding blue or green to the red. I'll call it hard journey so we can move on with our life. Anybody redeem anything I need to get on here? Speak now or forever hold your bling. Maybe I always love the default rat sleeves. Tron, if you're still out there, I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten. Here, we'll take the blue-red sleeves since it's a blue-red deck. How did you get the unlands? We just paid 2,500 gems for them. Nebula redeemed the new lands, but they were defaulted. Nice. And do we like 9-8? With 2 shocks, we might want 9 mountains. I think it's giving us the 9 because of all this stuff going on at 5 in blue. But again, the double pips at 5 are less of a concern to me than making sure we're doing our early game. So I think, yeah, I think with the shocks, we want mountains. Because one of the things you often want to do with shock is on turn 3, you want to cast an igneous cur and shock something, right? So even though we don't have double pips, when you're trying to slot in cheap removal like shock, you're going to want to really think of that almost as a double red spell because of what it's going to require of you to cast it and another red card on the same turn, which is what you're wanting to do a lot. So I think that's a great reason to go 9 mountains, despite the double blue heavily waiting for us at 5, which is certainly why the system gave us 9 islands. But as always, I look to the early game to figure out what my mana needs to be. We'll give this a capture. Pocket Nebula says full art land should be more common. Looks like they are. On, you know, there are certainly cool lands are becoming more of an every set thing rather than a, hey, it's Zendikar, so we're going to do cool lands. Let's update our numbers. Back to 0-0, trying to claw our way to 7 again. We've been pretty good at that lately, honestly. Players are paired based on... I haven't read anything from Wizards to suggest that this has changed anytime recently, so my understanding of pairing in Premier or anything that tracks rank, like if you're in an event that shows player rank in the UI, then you know that you're also being match-made on rank. But it's not the primary matchmaking factor. When they launched ranked influenced matchmaking, rank was the primary factor, and it was ridiculous because you would have terrible luck and be 0-2 with your crappy deck. You know, sometimes you have a train wreck, and so you draft a train wreck and you're 0-2, but you're an expert player, and so some other expert player who's 6-1 would end up paired with you because it was pairing expert player versus expert player. They realized that was wrong and have switched it so that the primary matchmaking condition is win-loss record in the event you're in, but then in events where there's rank displayed, there is a we're going to keep this, we have enough going on here, just cycle and lofty denial on 2. Anyway, so rank is a factor, but it's not the main factor. I know we are going to be a little bit flooded. There's flood risk with this for sure, but with Lofty Denial on 2, I felt like this was a fine keep. Although, yeah, we're flooding a bit here, but hopefully Salvo will make use of that mana eventually. Furious Rise is... Oh, I should have countered that. Sorry, I got distracted. That was the whole point of Lofty Denial. Major punt. Punt it up, folks. That was bad. Now I'm going to leave Denial up again. I could play Bolt Hound, but it's not getting through here, so hopefully they try to tap out and we luck into getting something good with the Denial here, but I totally should have gotten that Rise. All right, see, so we do get something here. This isn't the worst, like, but I don't want to sit here fighting this Rise the rest of the game, and I wish I had just gotten rid of it. But as far as consequences of punting go, we kind of got off the hook, let off the hook there a little bit by having that play. Yeah, Rise would still be a much better counter more, which is why you're totally authorized, in my mind, to punt the heck out of me here. But the worst case is that they, like, with 4 mana up, they cast the 4/2 3-drop Ogre, and then we're just like, you know. So I'm just happy that we ended up with something really nice countered. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to... Like, there was a point at which I might have felt a lot of shame about a mistake like that, but first, I'm capable of making that mistake with none of you around, and that's, you know, like, off-air. So there is that. I acknowledge that, but, you know, when I make stream mistakes, it's no big deal. There's not a lot of pride wrapped up in the suffering from the challenges of stream. Yeah, that's a very aggressive play, right? I think what they're doing, though, is it's treating it like card draw, because by getting the Pteranodon up to 4, they're going to trigger the Furious Rise, so they're figuring that this is like cycling the Guile, which is fair. And they get a land out of it. We're, again, flooding a bit here, but with Ghostlight, we should be salvoing our way to a pretty nice setup. I think I start with a Bolt Hound attack. If they want to trade off their Visionary here, I think that's fine for us. And then we Ghostlight their other creature. Oh, sorry, I did a restart, and Cardboard Live is not. Let me do that. Yeah, you're right that trading puts Salvo farther away, but I feel fine about it. Like, we're going to cast this eventually. Or, you know, it's going to do its thing. We'll get another Ghostlight out, untap, and have it then. Oh, sorry, new meme for Nantuko? Yes, let's see. We'll give you this one. New meme for Nan. Carry on my wayward son. Did I miss anything else? Let me know if I owe anybody anything. Now, I actually like Ghostlight the Spinner so we can get in, and then we'll have Salvo next turn. Gadrak is something else. Gadrak is following me around like a stalker. Maybe I just like... I do get it passed to me, and then I'm in red and I take it. Maybe some people who are in red don't like it or something. All right, and now, let's see. Salvo needs 6, but if we play a Cur, it only needs 5, so we can go Cur into Salvo, right? It's total power. So we play this, and then Salvo is 5, and that's still good. And then we trade off for, we kill Snare Spinner and Pteranodon, and then Ghostlights are on the march. Yeah, pump the cur. That's cute. I mean, if it mattered, it would be actually good, but it's not really necessary here. Still looking good for us. Drawing a land isn't the best, and we don't really have attacks into the pitch burn or we lose the ghost light. I don't want to 2-for-1 ourselves, so we're just going to see if the ghost light can get there before Oppo can find anything. Well, I was actually looking, Haj. Yeah, we're only going to attack in the air. We don't want this thing to die and kill our ghost light. Well, I'll sandbag a land here. We do have Augur in the deck, so I'm going to stop playing lands. Well, they're going to start getting some Furious Rise action now. But hopefully it's not going to be in time. Could send the Larcenist, and we don't care if it dies. We draw a card and it doesn't trade for the Pitchburn Devils. So, but I didn't feel the need. Yeah, Haj wants to throw this away now, make that play now. Yeah, I guess I could have. It's like we get one card at some point. No cur attack because I don't want to trade with the Devils. We don't want this to die. If this dies, it kills our Ghost Light. But that's what made, like, there's no reason to throw away a cur, but we could throw away the Larcenist to draw a card, which is what Haj was suggesting we should have done. Yeah, no more Rise triggers, but I don't care about the Rise triggers if we almost have them dead. Let's not kill our game-winning threat just to get rid of Rise triggers. Let's make them find something in their next 3 cards to stop it. Or 5. I guess they get these 2, a draw, and then another 2. Or do these work together? Yeah, they each work separately, right? Yeah, that's good for us. Sorry, Oppo. Not your best result there. Not our best result here, but I'm only going to keep 2 lands in hand for the Augur. And I will send this now. And this is Haj's point. Like, if I had sent this before, we'd be a card deeper, and I'd already have the wizardry going. That's why Haj wanted to do it sooner. Get that card sooner. Yes, I'm actually just trying to win the game. And I think we're in a good spot now. Even if they find something between the card they just drew and their possible next rise, although they can't play one, so one of the rises is stuck, right? Because it gets their... Hellkite Punisher is potentially an answer, but I think... Let's see if they go... What we need is an instant or sorcery, and then we win. But let's see if they attack here now. I don't think so. Non-creature spell wins us the game. That's what we're hoping for. I'll just do this now. Yeah, we're gonna play it. I just did, I could wait till the Furious Rise is resolved. It's possible they get something out of the Rise that makes me not want to do this or something. So really, I should have just let that happen. But non-creature spell, we've flooded out pretty heavily. We're good people. We deserve it. We deserve to top deck a win. Did we? I think so, because we can fly the cur, right? So we got there. Not the win we thought, but thank you, Magic Gods. Apparently, we are deserving of victory. I can fly everything, but we know their hand. They have nothing to do at instant speed. This is a win. When you have a 100% win, you don't need to overthink it. Unless you have failed to think about something and you don't have the 100% win you thought you had. Good start, good start. We'll take it. Off on the right foot. Hey, Fool Auto, how you doing? Hey, I bet there's some of you out there who don't realize that you ought to be in the Going Optimal Discord. Did you know that you should be in the Going Optimal Discord? I'm gonna give you an unsolicited testimonial that Motor City Mama shared with me last night. One moment. Motor City Mama said, Hey, Ryan and admin gang, this is a must-see. A new player trying to find their way in a new Discord. Everyone hops in to help them learn the draft app, set up their arena ID nickname, etc. Then another member posts this, and my heart absolutely melts. Someone posted, this group is super friendly and smart. I came on because I was about to quit trying to play. I was watching an old stream where Ryan was playing a newer, less skilled player, and someone in chat was giving the new person a hard time for a play, and the message from Ryan and everyone in chat was, if you see this Blackbird, then come to the Discord and we will help you get better. I thought it was neat that everyone was leaving a sort of message in the bottle for the player, and it's true, this community wants to help build others up. So, warms my heart that I have attracted such an incredible crowd, an incredible community, and I really appreciate it. Well, you know, and so there you go. Razor says it was D. Yes, I remember. I remember that, and I also remember, like, you know, it's a way in which that's something that D brings to the table, because if he pushes too far in that direction, D becomes an object lesson that I can use on community behavior, you know? Anyway, let's get back into it. I am just super proud and super lucky to have the community that I do. Maybe, David. I'm also notoriously bad at figuring that kind of crap out. Put it on my list of things to look into. We'll keep this. I don't love not being on board on turn 2, but we have a larcenist and the land, and so I'm gonna keep. Oh, I assume somebody posted it, but here I can if the Discord link has not gone up. There it is. Thank you, thank you. So let's see what Moose does here. Deadly Moose, we unfortunately did not get on board on turn 2, which can be a problem in the format, but against black, you know, we'd be really nervous if this was like red-white or something, but we're doing okay here. Where was the DM? Maybe I'll find it this weekend. Hey, what a draw. What a draw. And somewhat of an object lesson in the 2 red thing. I mean, we don't have a second red spell, but this is classically a spot where you're trying to sneak a shock in and you want to have more red mana. And maybe we'll find something with our larcenist draw that we can play here. So I'm just going to shock this thing. And hope we draw something else to play. That would be nice. Second mountain is this is a reasonable fallback. We don't get to play anything, but I'm glad to have a second mountain. So it's kind of a 4-mana shock but the free card is worth it. And this is what I mean. Imagine this Ghost Light on an empty board. Now, compare it to Ghost Light with an active Larcenist. Yes, please. You'd rather play Ogre? Nah, now we can 2-spell next turn. And hopefully, maybe we can compel them into an attack or something. I think I give up the Larcenist here. They don't even block it. Like, if they put Veto and Chorister on the Larcenist, we get to trade Larcenist for Chorister and draw a card. That seems wonderful. So, yeah, we could make it fly, but I'm in for trading Larcenist for Chorister here if they want to do it, so I'm going to offer it. Also, lets us then do more this turn. You think we should? You just want to make it fly and work that angle? I just think I just don't think they'll trade, and that if they trade for Chorister, we're actually happy about that. So I'm going to offer it on the ground because I legit want to trade Larcenist for Chorister and a card. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I played the Glide Master, and now I'm a little bit regretting it. We might want the Lofty Denial instead. I think Lofty Denial says we have a hard time losing this game. I'm just going to pass with Lofty Denial up. And if I could undo my turn, I would go Ogre with Lofty Denial. So kind of a 2-mana mistake of... I thought I was going Glide Master Ogre, and then I considered the Denial too late. But ideal last turn play would have been Ogre hold up Denial. Exactly. No, I wish I'd played the Ogre, but I'm going to play conservative here because, like, we can allow this even. You know, I could counter this, but between Enthralling Hold and Salvo, this is acceptable. So I'm going to let this happen. Yeah, and if Oppo swings, we get to steal Veto. We can't really activate Veto, but we would happily enthrall Veto. No luck. I'm going to crash through, look for a land. Why didn't I counter? Because I felt like... Salvo, hold, and hold meant that I don't actually care about this. I don't care about this too much. That's why I didn't counter. Well, I'm going to crash through first, and then... well, we could Ogre and pass to be safe. Then we for sure get our Lofty Denial. That's fine. And but we're going to attack with Ghost Light. One question is, do we attack with Glide Master? No, because they have double strike, so we can't do that. We do get this. Ogre pass is safe. We'll do that. I kind of want, like, if there's a land on top, of course you crash through and get the land, but we don't know there is. So let's get the Ogre on board, have our Denial ready, and then have Salvo. This is why I didn't counter. And I don't know what they're up to with this, but I'm going to counter this. You know, like, this is something that we don't have anything in hand that deals with Cauldron. So I'm going to do this. We have the flyer to make that 4. And then if they don't attack, we like salvo these two and kind of get the scoop, maybe? Let's find out. Could be Feet. Feet of Resistance would be nice for them right here. Yeah, it could always be Feet. It's hard to play around Feet, though. You can only save one of them, and then again, we have double hold. Yeah, so it is Feet. Haj doesn't like how I'm playing. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Haj. I'll try and be better. We have Augur. I'm going to hold the island. Yeah, Haj and I disagree on when to use that counter. That's all right. Now let's start with a crash. See what happens here. Another mountain. We can fly everything and let them do what they will. That seems fine. Crash for Kerr? Yeah, whatever. Although, whatever is kind of exactly what Haj is talking about, that maybe I'm being a little loose here, but I don't know, I'm just doing stuff, applying pressure, making them have it. They come back the other way, we hold. If they don't kill the Glide Master here, we just keep flying everything we have. If they do kill the Glide Master here, we get them to 1. It's misty. It's a distant island, D. So Haj thinks that was a win despite instead of a win because. I was okay with my line on that counterspell. I don't know what else you felt I really messed up there, Haj, but I'll keep listening, and try to find the best navigation we can. Take the win. This looks good. We have Ghost Light with no creatures to play ahead of it right now, but not passing it, not giving, not mulliganing this hand. Could just, we could draw poorly from here and have this be just a medium hand. Well, Glide Master over Ogre was a midstream change of plan, and I chose not to have a sunk cost fallacy about it. The counter thing was a chat distraction that I'm hardly going to worry about. The other counter thing was a deliberate choice. And making the Glide Master fly instead of the Ogre after casting Salvo. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'd have to relook. I mean, that might be like, so as far as I'm concerned, you've named one that I feel like, oh, maybe I missed something, whereas at least in the other way, it's like, well, I missed something and missed it midstream. Yeah, that's why I didn't attack with, I didn't mention that, but I was considering the attack with the Ogre in that one spot and didn't because they had given Veto pro red. Dragonfire does not get this Bronte. Hopefully we enthrall it at some point. Wow. I did put more mountains in than islands, yet we have kind of island flooded every game so far. I did, but I tried to give them times to swing with veto, and they just didn't. Well, let's take out the kitty at least. Oh, do they have, they might have... There was a pause there, and nothing for that. I think they might have, was that a tell of, Guile? Felt like that was a Guile tell, and they just chose not to save the kitty. So we'll keep that in mind. We do have Denial plus Dragonfire or Wizardry end of turn. No, there was nothing to target with the Bront. That's why it wasn't the Bront. Yeah, they decided to save the Brontodon, possibly over... Okay. Well, that's cool, because if we find a land now, we can Ghostlight the Brontodon. Oh, except now they still have the Guile, so we'll see. We're probably gonna have to do it once. We're gonna try and hold it. They're gonna Guile it, and then we do it again. So we're gonna trade hold for Guile, and then try to do it again. Or we can just Ghostlight and trade Ghostlight target for Guile. That's actually probably better, because then we still get the Ghostlight on board. Well, D, you'll have to save up your channel points and make sure to buy a different land. Can't they sack it? Sack what? They could sack it to destroy their own meteorite. But the moment that this enthralling hold is on the battlefield to be disenchanted by something, we control the Brontodon. We can't. That's right. Yeah, so as said, I'm going to go with a roaming Ghostlight here. They're going to Guile it and save the Brontodon. We're going to have to go down pretty low on life, but then we should have an enthralling hold for it after. They could choose the hold. I don't know what you're talking about. The moment that this hold could be targeted by Brontodon, we control it. Yeah, I think a single wizard chump is correct. And I will... send one... Hopefully that just encourages them to attack with Bronte all the more here. No May on that. 6 total mana. Looks like we're not going to be able to enthrall and keep a Lofty Denial. But if they do have something like another Guile here, we can chump and do this again next turn. I'm gonna represent Shock, I guess. They might kill their meteorite, but that's fine with us too, right? It's a 2-for-1. We either get a Brontodon or a dead meteorite. They get to choose. And not loving the idea of trading Ghostlight for Baron. And I guess with yeah, I mean, we can attack Goblin. I'm just thinking if we want to attack Ghostlight. Are we blocking Are we blocking Baron with Ghostlight? If they have +4/+4, we could lose the game not trying to trade. So I don't know if we want to risk death to Titanic growth. So this is not a good blocker next turn. I'm going to say Ghostlight can trade for Baron, and we'll play conservative here. One thing we could do, I mean, at this point, it would have been an attack. But if they do something like get rid of the Ghostlight and attack, we can at least enthralling hold the Baron. It's not great, but it's, you know, still stealing a creature. But I'm going to go for the trade here. Lofty Denial just got a lot worse, though. Well, just got a little bit better, but we can't double spell here. We can just blow this away, just Scorching Dragonfire it. We could also let it attack and try and hold it. And have Dragonfire if they go for a win. Yeah, we could just bounce it, let them recast it, though. We could do that. Let's bounce it now, and then we can still decide about the hold versus let it attack, etc. next turn. Oppo is showing pauses though, so I'm worried about what this is. This is some kind of an instant, unless they're messing with us with stops. That could be happening too. Okay, we'll do this one more time, and then we'll decide. Then we're really gonna decide. And now, with our advantage, I don't like the let him attack and steal it. Let's just Dragonfire it and hold up our Lofty Denial. I don't like the let him attack plan. I think just kill this thing and go, go, go. Ha! Look, we were so smart. Like, we could have died. We played it around. We played around it well, everybody. Applause, everyone, applause. Yay! We did it. Smart play gets us a win. All right, more like Jeb Bush. Please clap. Has to be one of my favorite moments in politics, really. It's a minor one, but just I've never seen that. That was I've never seen a campaign just die in front of me like that. It's like, wow, his campaign is over. Okay. Stockdale is good too. Maybe I have recency bias. Boy, you look at our politics now and look back and think, yeah, Howard Dean somehow like killed his campaign because he screamed funny. Screaming funny seems like pretty low crime at this point in my perception of things. Oi, how much do we love this hand if this island is a mountain? This island is a mountain. I'm all over this hand. As it is, I'm a little nervous. We do have an Elder, though. And if it can land, we get to... what do you think? We are on the draw. We have 3 turns to find a red source. 3 turns. Funky says Sneep. I can't call this I can't call anything without both of our lands a Sneep, but I think this is a keep. I would not call I think the comparison of what is a scandal now versus then is certainly interesting to look at, and I'm with you there. But I disagree with the notion that that Bill Clinton's inappropriate behavior in the Oval Office ended his career. I mean, he finished his 8 years in office and went on to live his life like most, like any post ex-president. You can find it. Just Google Jeb Bush, please clap, and you'll find it. Would love to get this larcenist going, and I think we challenge them with an attack, because if they block, we can just shock face. And might want to do it anyway, but we can, let's see. Yeah, if we're going to shock anyway, we should get an extra point in. So I'm going to do that. I don't want to have them extra mana on their next turn. Maybe we'll find something to cast, but do that. Jeb, J-E-B. Hey, look. Something to cast. We will be happy about that. Do we actually pitch an Enthralling Hold? Is that our worst card here, given this hand? I think it has to be the Hold or the Ghostlight. Yeah, we could ditch the Bolt Hound, but we're not... I think this actually would be good in this hand. But maybe we don't have the time for it. We'll cast Larcenist next and hopefully get up our mana to this stuff. Okay, I'm with you on Bolt. I shocked there because it got an extra point of damage on the Elder, and I was not going to let Oppo untap with extra mana. Another spot where we could Dragonfire, or we can Larcenist and set up for Ghostlight next turn. Haj says swing first. So what's your plan, Haj? Let's say, what do we swing with, and what's our plan? If we swing, we're saying we offer a trade of Glidemaster, and if they block the Elder, then what are we doing? I hate block Dragonfire. If we're willing to use the Dragonfire and the Dilo, let's just do it and get the damage in. Why let them block? If I'm just, yeah. I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to make sure our damage gets in. I'm at 0 hourglasses. I had to make a choice. I'm going against the Haj line here because of what my brain is saying, but not sure about that. We could keep the mountain, and then I'm going to ditch the Larcenist, keep the mountain, and then we're sure that we have Ghostlight next turn. Interesting. we cannot ghostlight the ghostlight. So in this case, we're going to attack with the Glide Master, offer the trade, replay the Elder, and then hope we enthrall a ghostlight. But if they want to make this trade, that's cool too. Well, that's a deep and extensive question, D, that's not worth getting into. I mean, mentioning the funny political moment from 4 years ago or whatever is all well and good, but the TLDR of Jeb Bush's campaign is that that really he just failed to inspire people, and part of that was Donald Trump successfully, constantly criticizing him in ways that that stuck. You know, that people, you know, Trump bagged on him and it worked, which is kind of funny because another famous quote from that campaign, from that preliminary campaign in the GOP was Jeb Bush said to Donald Trump, "You can't insult your way to the presidency, Donald." Guess what, Jeb? Double hold. Excellent. So hopefully we get the Kraken and the Ghostlight. I was just about to say, okay, this is getting tricky because we really want to get, you know, maybe we need to wait and try to get the Kraken with the hold, but now we can do both. Now we can do both. Hold while the holding is good and hope that they send the Kraken in next turn. And then we hold that as well. I'm going to play the land. We do have an auger to consider. Yeah, maybe I'll hold it for now. I think we probably stop at 6. So I am gonna hold the land for right now. Like the only reason to do it would be if we drew a 7th land. Would we play the 7th land and have use of it? And the answer is really no. So let's do that. Yeah, this was the Republican primary, where the Republican Party was establishing who their candidate for president was going to be. Yeah, we talked about checking out Jumpstart at the end of this stream after we do this event. And we'll probably do it, like even if we're a little over my usual end time or whatever. Yes, excellent. Send in the Kraken. They do have the 1 mana, could be Guile, so we have that to consider. But actually what I'm going to do is cycle the Crash through and see if it does a Guile pause. No Guile pause, that's good. And hold the Kraken. Maybe we just win the game here on a scoop. Definitely sending this. I think at this point, we're pretty fine trading either of these with the Ghostlight back. So I'm going to, yeah. Just steal the Kraken and then bounce whatever they come back with. Hey, Diamond. I feel like I haven't been to Diamond in a while, but we're kind of just rolling lately. Four wins. We've made it to the precious 1400 gem. Release the Kraken. I'd give Kraken like a B+. It's a 6-drop. But it's a 6-drop that can really take over the game. This looks great. And if we enthralling hold it again, We release the Kraken. Glide Master showing up on 2 is pretty sweet. Riddle me this! Well, we could hold up Lofty, but I'm going to get Gadrak down, and then Lofty is extra good. Kerr is solid. We are going to Rousing Reed here. I'm just going to make the Glide Master fly on its own. We have shocks in the deck, so look at me remembering auto tap and remembering the contents of my deck. We're going to leave red up in case of shock, because we would shock that Kerr. Uh-huh. What are we discarding? Lofty. Yeah, we can pitch Lofty, because if they resolve stuff, we get to bounce it and steal it. Could even say we might be so aggressive that we're not going to be able to hold anything. Kerr or Denial? Yeah, let's go Lofty. And I'm going to get the Kerr now while shields are relatively down over there. Get a token as well. Treasure. Oh, they got us back. Funny, we can Ghostlight our Gadrak back. That doesn't seem the best. Too bad we don't have the Lofty now. It would be pretty good backed up by the Kerr here, but we'll drop a Kerr and pass. Well, maybe they'll counter. That'd be fine as well, I think. And if they're spending their 4th turn on a Scry 1, we got to be happy about that. Although we're not applying much pressure here. Hopefully they don't cast a Ghostlight so that we can cast a Ghostlight. Or that would mean them casting another creature, though. It looks like maybe they're not doing that either. All right, 5th land is Dees. We're going to play that regardless, and then it does give us extra pump potential. This is a very suspicious set of 4 cards, 5 open mana with our Kerr attacking, but we don't have much else to do anyway. So I like, yeah, Wizardry. Let's talk about Wizardry and whether we play around that. If it's Wizardry, they make 3/3 and 2 1/1s. If they want to put both 1/1s on, we trade Wizardry for Kerr, and that's okay. Or we trade Kerr for Riddle Form, and that's okay. So I think we send. Yeah, because a bunch of stuff dies, right? Like we ended up if they do anything big here, we get very close to shipping with Gadrak. So let's go ahead and Kerr it. Oh, it's just your stuff. No, yeah, that would have worked if they had it. I still think I kind of smell like bounce here, but we don't have anything else to do. So Oppo may think, haha, I'm totally going to get him. They're going to put mana into this Cur, and then I'm going to bounce it. However, I am going to stop here, because if they do have bounce, I want to be able to replay the Cur this turn. So I'm going to give up. I think we could probably pump this and get 2 points of damage in, but I'm going to be a little bit conservative here and avoid getting blown out by the uncommon bounce spell, which is becoming more and more and more playable. We do have treasure. Okay, that's a good point. Sorry, thank you. I'm kind of hoping we end up using this to attack with Gadrak, but I don't think they're going to bounce this. I think it's probably unlikely. And so in this case, I'll use the treasure if it turns out that they do have it. They are keeping some on top, which is worth considering. Aha! This is a format-dependent playable, honestly. There are formats where I would not like this card, but it's proved its value in this one. And yeah, would like to get Gadrak attacking, but we're going to play the Cur. Dragonfire is a bit of all right. And here we are again. Similar situation. There's what we thought was going to happen. And this is nice because depending on how they... Oh, wow. All right, all right. I guess we let them block first and see how they want to do it. Right? Because is there any reason to, like, burn the riddle form here? Like, we just shouldn't show them, right? Let's just let them decide how to block. Funny, Scorching Dragonfire says we don't get a treasure token, unfortunately. They're going for that. I didn't think they would do that, honestly. So let's... I'm going to pump first to see if they do anything in response to this being a trade. We might just take the trade. I have a feeling this could be a Sure Strike or something. Let's let him show us. Seems weird that they're giving up Riddle Form for the Cur at 15 life. But yeah, we'll take it. That's fine. Yeah, maybe they would have just blocked with Goblin on Sure Strike. That's a good point. Yep, Ghostlight gets to bounce a token for free. That's pretty good. And maybe we just kill the other one here in the face of all this damage. Spend a Dragonfire on one. Do we risk it? They could get this to... yeah, I missed it. Mike is right. Sorry, I was talking and clicked and allowed that pump to happen. I should have Dragonfired when they were at 2. Then if they do another instant, they're still at 3 and it dies. I'm not going to risk it, so... Well... Yeah, it's true. I did screw that up. Now we have to decide whether we're going to put him to the test or not. If we're going to take the damage and Dragonfire later, why don't we just untap and play it super safe? I think I'm going to do that. Although that does suggest, like, don't you think they would have gone for it? I guess it depends on what the spell is. Um, One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. If we don't care about Gadrak attacking, we actually have 7, and we can just Ghostlight Scorch. Yeah, I'm gonna go to our turn because we have 7 mana. We just have to give up on the Gadrak plan. Hey, Shock gives us something a little more interesting. Wow, now I kind of want to go Gadrak Shock a token because we do get another treasure. But we can start there. We could start Ghostlight and then hold up Shock and Scorch. No, it does even work on token creatures. That's what's great, right? Oh no, it is non-token. Ah, sorry. What's the one that does? There's something that doesn't. There's something that doesn't care that they're tokens that I was thinking of, which to me is bad, like questionable design. I don't know. You don't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna Ghost and hold up Shock. Yeah, Devotee, thank you. What a weird thing. I think that's questionable design to have the Devotee do it one way and Gadrak do it another way. Why not be consistent there? Might be a power level thing, but weird. This is not a reading stream, Funks. Like any of them are. As if people read Magic cards. Come on. We read them once at the beginning and then go with it. Nah, we're at 14. I don't want to use the treasure this turn if I can help it. We could, though. It could have Opt, but I'm going to make him have Opt. All right, I'll Shock now. But I hope they don't have Opt. They don't. All right. Stormwing, we're going to Scorch. Then we're going to let him attack with a 5/5 and hold it. And then we have strong control over the board, right? Or we could... Yeah, let's Scorch this. Shields down. They might offer the Gadrak trade, and then we get to steal it. Oh, great. Here, I just thought we were only going to get a 5/5 on the ground. Well, it comes down to this. Hopefully they didn't draw a counter, but we're not going to play around anything here. Oh, and I owe you a Dragonfire meme, sorry. Yeah, another inventory in there. There you go, that's why. Discard it to get it back and then cast it again. Oh, they took unsubstantiate though, of course. They're just gonna kill their own token here. That's not the worst for us. And we might want to salvo now. Because this is gonna get more expensive. Oh, you think they'll bounce the hold? That's right. It is. Well, so maybe. So let's go to combat and let them do that, and then we have lots of responses. So no problem. This isn't an instant. No, it's a sorcery. But if they do the thing and bounce us the enthralling hold, like they could bounce the enthralling hold, but then we get to recast it. So I don't know why they would do that. I bet they just kill the creature. Let's see what they do, and then we can decide what we're gonna do. Oh, it's not even a target. Spell or creature. Sorry, yeah, you're right. They couldn't do that anyway. But they're gonna kill this. And we don't want to give them another Dowser activation, so we're just going to hold up Wizardry and cast that before our next turn. I'm in for offering Gadrak here. What else are we hoping to do with Gadrak? We may trade it for a trick or something. Wizardry, we could play Wizardry and add to it, but I think we just trade for Dowser or whatever they got in hand and try to win off of our pretty sweet backups here. Yeah, Salvo is suddenly getting a ways from being cast, but they're also not showing much to make us worry about. A Larcenist here, and see if that can't get us some cards. Yeah, I agree with Hodge, especially with the Ghost Light to back it up. If they come up with one single blocker that's not a Ghost Light of its own, we can bounce it. Or not a Spirit, at any rate. Alright. Oppo might just be flooding out. I'm going to hold land now. We do have Augur in here. And now I'm going to hold 2 land. Although we do have this to cast as well. We have 7, and this is like, as soon as the Ghost Light is out, the Salvo will be very, very castable. Do you like Ghost Light for no value? What do you think, chat? I have a call from Ganmore to consider that play. My gut is no, that we treat that like a bounce spell for right now. So yeah, I'm going to keep waiting. It is a faster clock, but they're not showing anything to stop this clock. Maybe it's worth it now. Yeah, see here, well, there you go. They're having to, we're forcing them to use removal on weaker stuff here. Now that our clock is that much worse, if they just have removal, though, that's probably why we hold, so that we get some value out of it first. They have 2 cards in hand, 15 in the library. Seven, 8. I just feel like we play this and it's gonna get killed. But all right, let's do it. Some people are on not playing it, some people are on playing it. And here you go. Okay. All right. Well. Do I send this? Like, I guess we can offer, I'll offer this for, they're not going to block that, right? I missed a damage. How so? It doesn't matter. Those of you saying I should have bounced first, I don't know what it does. Like, oh yeah, I guess we get, right. We would get 1 damage in for that. Okay, I could have done it. But I also wanted to, okay, they're doing that. Yeah, well, I'll just play it now. I really thought they were 100% going to sack to kill the Ghostlight Hajj. Just a misread, I guess. Yeah, True and I were just on the same... Yeah, well, the token attack was a mistake, but my mindset that led me to that mistake was the feeling that there was no way they were going to let the flyer connect. But it did get us 3 extra damage in the air. Like I didn't think they would do that. I didn't think they would let us have the 3 in the air. We could play lands for salvo, but I'm also considering, I mean, we have it. Like, we don't need to play lands here. So yeah, I acknowledge the mistake of the attack, but you can at least see where I put myself in Oppo's head to think that that wasn't going to happen that way. They're at 11 to our 15. And I guess they could turbo draw here and make this close. But they do have to deal with Ghostlight. This is a 2-turn clock coming up. There's our precious augur, and maybe we're gonna end up losing this one here. We need a threat, or we're just gonna slowly lose. We go ogre, kill weird, and then hopefully the ogre gets there. Still tight here. Not loving this. And I'm going to hold salvo. If they play another blocker next turn, we'll be happy to salvo both. So I'm going to be a little greedy and hold the salvo here, in case we need to clear 2 blockers, because it could come down to that. We're now very low on deck health. We're down to 7 cards. Well, indeed another creature, but not one we can particularly beat. Well, maybe we can with that. Depending on when they do this. Can we even target it? Let's see. Can't. Yeah, I don't know how we make him use it main phase. That's the real problem David is calling out. I'm going to salvo this, though. Yeah, I think that kind of finishes the game. Well done, Oppo. Took advantage of a couple of my missteps. If we play that perfectly, do we win? If like, this maybe I never have the time, but this would be an interesting game to rewind and look at. I know I made some obvious missteps, but I'm trying to figure out if getting aggressive with the ghost lights sooner would have changed things. Yeah, we still give them a chance to screw up, but they need to brash taunt on their main phase here. If they taunt, we have a chance, which is why I haven't scooped yet. Maybe they'll get cute. Unlikely. They're a good player rank-wise. D, why are you looking to hide? Like, that makes me want to time you out. Just, come on. Why do you gotta go to... You're begging Hajj to bag on me. How about I just shut you up? Hey, look, we got him to use their Taunter main phase. I don't mind getting called out when I play loose or when I make mistakes, but D, if you're going to be downright gleeful about it, I'm going to shut you up. All right, we took a loss, but we're still on the march to 7. We can get there. Taunter is a tough card to beat for sure. Yeah, like every 3 days, D gets a mute, I would say. About his average, that would be my guess. All right, looks good. We could keep the shock for a potential turn 1 thing, but nah. We can always do that turn 2. We're just going to cycle crash through here. Ooh, denial is nice. Keep up shock and denial. I'll try to use denial this time. Don't talk to me, chat. Leave me alone. I'm very concentrating on casting lofty denial. All right, I guess we're going to cast Bolt Hound. What's that you're saying? What? Huh? Oh, hold on. We could go Bolt Hound and get on it. Leaves them open to cast a 3. But then we have Shock and Denial on our next turn. I like that. Let's get the Bolt... Because Bolt Hound is going to be... It's going to be good to have something attacking if we get the Ghost Light going. Perfect. Perfect because we get to shock that, attack, and hold up Lofty. It's a less than perfect because they drew a card off of that, which is good for them, but we're still going to take the quasi 2-for-1 against there to keep their ramp off the board. And we'll deny that one. Yeah, not a great bounce target, huh? And unfortunately means we're not doing anything on 5 here, unless we want to cast a 3-2 for no value, which we could do. But I'm expecting it's likely that they'll cast a creature. I think we should hold and let them cast something and then bounce it. I don't like not spending 5 mana, but I'm going to give it 1 turn here. Interesting. Well, now I kind of like Bolt Hound. Offer I'll trade either one for the Bolt Hound, and then we can decide what we do after that. May set them up to... No, we lost that one, Bat Meme. They found enough control elements to tie us down and grind us out with tutelage. Yeah, we could bounce the Glide Master and offer the Bolt Hound to the Scourge. Maybe that's best. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Good call. Because we would totally trade Bolt Hound for Scourge, and they're not going to. And then maybe they'll attack. Oh, they will. Okay. I'm fine with that trade, too. Maybe they're just nervous about life total. I was surprised about that trade. It doesn't have reach, right? So we are going to attack. Let them attack that. We have to give them 2 cards, but then we get their warden. So they get 2 cards. We get we kill their creature and get a warden. So it's kind of like 2 for 2. Oh, vigilance is bad. You're right. Yeah. Do we need to hold back and threaten a double block, or can we race? You know, at 14 to 20, then I think we just need to race. Almost want to wait till we get a 4 power to deal a little extra damage there, but that's silly. They do have the Glide Master, which is maybe important here because of the Warden situation. Well, we lose a 5-3 race, but whether or not the math on nothing else happening on the board supports our 3 to their 5 is not really the issue. The point is we have a clean attack with a 3-power flyer, and we're going to have to find a way to race. Well, I'm assuming they made that comment before either of this stuff came down, but the point is we're not really assessing their 5 versus our 3 as the end-all, be-all of this game. It's just a race that we can end up winning if our evasion sticks. As Hodge points out, though, this represents blocking for our flyer, so we don't actually even have a clean understanding of how we win this race in the long run yet. Flooding out is not going to help us. At some point, we may need to keep the double block of Ghostlight and Turret Ogre for the Warden. But with all these spells in hand potentially tripping that plan up, you know, a double block can be blown out pretty easily. I think I'm going to continue to hope that the Ghostlight plan gets there and that we find some tools to support it. We have ways to kill the Glide Master, so we're kind of counting on killing the Glide Master before we lose the race. Oh, Bronte says, hey, there's our Glide Master death. That's pretty important. We could... Yeah, so I'm going to Dragon Fire it now. They're going to make something fly, and then we have no attacks for the turn, and then we can consider the double block. We may be in a position where we have to hope they don't have anything and do the double block, but certainly Glide Master's got to go here if we can pull it off. Oh, we don't have a double block anyway since they can fly. What do you mean? This has reach. Did you forget? Did you forget the Ogre has reach? Oh, they have the Guile. Well, we could steal the Visionary just to have something to steal. Then the Brontodon would have to kill it. And then we have that double block. Like, we're never stealing this. So, yeah. But if they make the Brontodon... Yeah, I'm going to let him... I don't think it's necessarily GG. I think we're here.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
I was hoping they would send the Brontodon. We're out of options, though. I'm not expecting this to work, gang. I'm expecting us to go 4-2 right now. But if this works and we 2-for-1 ourselves to trade for the Warden, we have a chance. But my presumption is we're going to lose this game right now, but we're priced into it. We can't play around things anymore. All right, so fantastic. I didn't even expect that to happen. We have a chance. Maybe not a good one with that double spell, but that's not even that bad. We Ghostlight and then have a blocker for most of their stuff, and they send the Bronte and we hold it. I'm going to go Glide Master number 1. Eventually these Glide Masters have to die. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Pump could kill us, but again, we're going to make him have it. Does give a counter to the kitty, but we can't afford to not do that. What we need is another thing to do besides the hold. Well... not enough mana. 8 mana is close, but not enough. Let's see. How can we survive? No, we can't even survive. We bounce this, chump this, and we just take 3. So we're gonna give him credit for remembering to attack and scoop it up. There's your reason why Wizards felt this could, R&D felt this could be reprinted at uncommon, or not reprinted, that this could be printed at common when they've largely moved stealing tech to rare, because stealing tapped is enough of a penalty that it's not just crushing. Like, because we could have potentially saved ourselves if we could have stolen a 4/4 and blocked with it, right? It feels very strong, but not broken. Yes, but that was 6 mana. I meant a 5 mana steal a creature, like basically mind control. All right, well, after a rockin' start, we've stalled out at 4 a little bit here, but I believe we can find profit. Let's get it. Yeah, we even have 1420 because we ground 20 gems in the draft today. Definitely D. Although, yeah, I'm great that they're bringing alternatives to Premiere where we can human draft old popular formats. So hats off to Wizards for giving us 8 humans drafting Dominaria on Arena. Need some extra land to really make this hand sing eventually, but we're definitely keeping. And I think we'll go Cur on 2 and hold up Denial for their turn 3 play. Really wanted the land so that we could shock and hold up Denial or Dragonfire. We don't get it, though. I'm just going to pass, and then we'll decide whether we need to shock a doggy or deny a 3-drop. So they got a Cur, so obviously that resolves because they could pay. But we have the shock, and I will shock the thing that doesn't require any mana to be 2 power. Land us. Okay, we got some land, and maybe I should have used Dragonfire. Didn't think that through. I think I still probably would have used shock, but I didn't think about it. One argument to go with Dragonfire is that it keeps up, if we draw any land, we get to hold up shock and lofty denial. But I do like keeping the Dragonfire at 3 damage for bigger stuff. So again, one of those spots where I think my mistake was not actively thinking about it better. And I'm not going to block with the Cur, so I'm going to attack. If they go for another pump here, of course I'm going to kill it, but I'll take 3. Yeah, and then we just deny. Stuck on mana. I'm going to take care of their cur here, so we're doing something, and then hope we find some land. That would have been a nice target for our Dragonfire. Oh, I also owe you a meme, sorry. But we get threat of activation attack here into Bolt Hound, which is better damage than playing a Bolt Hound and not attacking with anything. It's a little bit of mana here, and we can get back in this one, but we need it soon. Like, basically, it feels like our next two draws have to be... Like, our next draw has to be land, for sure. And then we either need, like, another land or removal. Then we should be okay, but we're under it here and stuck on mana. Chrome Replicator. Not like that card. All right. Well, too bad. I think this deck was better than 4-3, but it's looking like that's where we're going to end up, honestly. But Magic is Magic. This barely counts as a game in terms of understanding the quality of our deck. This is just Magic happening. What do we even do here? I guess I go ahead and draw out their tricks because we have nothing else to do. If this is a trade, okay. If we're 2-for-1ing to get a trick out of their hand, that kind of it sucks. But we're in a not play around it place. We got to hope this trades here, and then we find mana for the Ogre to trade up there, and then we have a chance, but we can't sit here and like play around tricks. We just got to hope they don't have it. Kind of expecting like a sure strike for the blowout, though. Again, couldn't play around it, saw it coming, had to do it in my mind. And we even still have a chance here if we can get a land right now. Right now. All right. We were just not going to be allowed to win this one. And yeah, I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. We have no chance. Boom! Bummer. Oh well. Boo earns. I'll add this to the decks in case we want to try it again some other time. As I always say, I'm never going to be too unhappy with a 4-3, but a little unhappy that we got mana unlucky and just didn't even have a game there. But that was a fun deck to play. I think we had another really interesting draft. We were being pulled towards green, being pulled towards blue, trying to figure out what to do. We went with our powerful blue stuff as opposed to the green synergy stuff, and had a good draft, though. Had a lot of fun. I don't draft... I haven't ended up in blue-red as much as you might think I would. But that was good. Let's hop to Soapbox. Oh, we need to go claim our prize. Here, I'll get out of your way for that, too. All right, YouTube friends, thank you so much for sticking around for that one through the end. I was pretty happy on the day. Obviously, I had my loose spots, but I really liked how we drafted and had a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to call it a win on that front. Thanks. Bye, YouTube.